Welcome, friends. My name is Scott Rossiter with Skagit Habitat for Humanity, and with me today is Joe Weistep. Joe is a realtor and a longtime friend and supporter of Habitat. He's graciously agreed to come with me today because I work for Habitat for Humanity. I don't show homes for a living. Joe shows homes for a living, so I was so grateful when he said he would come and join us today and help me point out some of the really cool features of the house we have today.
So I really appreciate the opportunity. I love giving back with Habitat for Humanity as much as possible. I've learned a lot of people don't really know who Habitat for Humanity is for. So who do you build the houses for?
The households that are participants in our home buyer programs are all low-income households, typically earning between 30 to 60% of what the average person makes in Skagit County. In addition to that, they are folks who are paying typically between 30 to 50% or more of their monthly income in rent right now. So they're housing cost burdened. And are all living in substandard housing currently. So they have homes currently, but there's something about it that's substandard. It's inadequate in some way. You know, typically inadequate is going to mean that it's overcrowded. Maybe there's not, good quality heating, or, that there's a difficulty with the access to utilities or even appliances that don't work regularly. And so those are the families that we are serving. So Joe, let's just take a walk around outside here and we can take a look at the front yard, maybe some of the exterior features of the home. And love this wonderful front porch. What do you call something like this?
A covered porch.
A covered porch. Fantastic. That's one of those technical terms that I don't know.
It's a really inviting entranceway too. You don't normally get on a affordable build something with some kind of stone accent window in the front door.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's amazing the kind of care and attention to detail that our construction manager and the volunteers and the other folks who work on the homes really put into the details to make it really feel like a home.
It's fantastic. I mean, the contrast with the natural wood on the ceiling for the light is just a beautiful touch.
Yeah, absolutely. So wonderful. Well, let's keep walking around this back here, and yeah, definitely. All those little details that are paid attention to in the process is really great.
It's fantastic. The fence is beautiful. It's plush green grass. You can't beat that. That's what everybody wants right now, especially as the weather comes nice.
Yeah. And in addition to the parking in front where we started out, you have this additional parking pad in the back here for extra parking. So you can have, lots of friends, family over to visit. So also another really nice feature. All right, so let's walk around.
So how does Habitat for Humanity build affordable homes for people like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's another question that I get a lot. And so as I mentioned, the home buyers that participate in our program are low-income families. And many of them they need to be able to qualify for a home loan as part of the process, but many of them will only qualify for less than what the house would actually cost. And so this is where the community partners that we have, the businesses that will donate not only materials, but time and talent as well, and of course, sponsorship financially to these homes makes up the difference between what the home buyer can afford to purchase and what they qualify for, and what it costs us to actually build the homes. And so because of that generosity from our community, and it's amazing generosity, everywhere I go, people are so excited about what Habitat does, and they're asking the question, how do we help? How do we get involved with that? And so without that generosity, and frankly, I'd rather say it more positively, because of that generosity, this moment is possible for us to be standing here at our 40th home for Habitat and saying, we're getting ready to dedicate this. So that's
a fantastic achievement.
Yeah.
40, congratulations. It's a great program, and glad to help any way I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that we're going to see over the next couple of days as we do those videos is we're going to take a time now, and we're actually going to say thank you to the sponsors and the gift-in-kind donors, and the people who have given their time and talent as part of these videos, because we really want to help the community know how involved the whole community is in making this work, so that we can help low-income families find quality, affordable homes that are transformational in their lives. So definitely want to stop for a moment and just say a major thank you out to Marathon Petroleum for their sponsorship of this project. Want to say thank you to the People's Bank Foundation, who gave generously to this project. Want to say thank you to Banner Bank for their role in providing support and assistance for this program. And a huge shout out to Pacific Wood Tech Corporation for their gifts of materials to this project. You can't build a house if you don't have the materials. And in that same vein, a huge thanks to Mount Vernon Building Center and also to Peaks Northwest Roofing for the labor they put into putting a quality roof on this home. And so thank you so much to Marathon Petroleum, People's Bank Foundation, Banner Bank, Pacific Wood Tech Corporation, Mount Vernon Building Center, and Peaks Northwest Roofing for making these things possible. So, and we're going to shout out more of our sponsors and in-kind donors throughout the rest of the videos this week.
Well, it's a beautiful day. The outside of this house is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm really eager to see the inside. I do have one question. Do you have the Habitat for Humanity buyers help build in the process?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You'll hear the term sweat equity used when you talk about the Habitat home buyers and the process they go through. So for the home buyers, it's 250 hours of sweat equity per adult. So if it's a single parent, they would have 250 hours. If it's two parents, it would be 500 hours. And one of the really great things about that is that you actually permit friends and family to help you fulfill those hours. And so what that does is it actually creates a wonderful community and a wonderful sense of bond, and creates a way for their friends and family to come around them and contribute with their labor. So fantastic, a feature of what we do in the home buyer process.
Fantastic. And as a recovering auto mechanic, I can tell you, understanding the mechanics of your home is absolutely key. It really makes to help with your preservation and just enjoyment of the home.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives that sense of, really personal investment in the property as you're working along that. Just it makes that moment when we're standing there to do the dedication, which is going to happen very soon, just all that more meaningful to have been part of the process of building it. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So what ways does Habitat for Humanity help support and prepare the home buyer during the process?
It's a great question, Joe, because one of the things that's certainly a big concern for us is that as these home buyers come into this moment, that they're as fully supported as possible to launch successfully and be able to maintain being a homeowner. And so there's a lot of support that comes around them. We assign a home buyer support coach who's a volunteer that walks with them throughout the entire process and encourages them, helps them navigate all the pieces of it. We also have professionals from the community that come in and they will teach about mortgages, how to walk through the mortgage process, and they actually get help as they walk through the mortgage process. We'll have folks that will come in, professionals in the community that will talk about how to build a monthly budget so that you have that margin to be able to afford to take care of a home, so that you're putting money away for the repairs that are eventually going to happen. What else do we do for them? Those are probably the main ways that we come around them and support them. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting.
Well, that's a fantastic support network. I know a lot of first-time buyers that definitely don't get that type of coaching during their process, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic service to give them. It's vital, and it really should be something that's practiced more often in the industry, personally, I think.
Yeah, and we're able to do that because of the generosity of the volunteers that give that time and talent and really emotional energy to the process to come around this home buyer. So we're so grateful for the volunteers that are on our home buyer support committee and the professionals in the community that give their time to teach those classes and be part of the process. So because of them, that's possible. Well, let's go ahead and break the suspense and start to head inside. But before we do that, we're going to take a pause and we're going to put on our booties so that we take good care of the new floors that are in here. So we're going to take a pause, put these on, and then head inside. Well, Joe, we've got our protective footwear on, and so I think we're ready to go inside. And just wanted to take a moment again to just add on to the last thought that we shared, that I'm so excited that as part of what we do, it's more than just building a house that's affordable. It's coming around that family and supporting them in a way that they launch into that with success. And so what an amazing thing we're able to do for them. So,
It's fantastic.
all right, let's go inside, and I think we're going to start with the bedrooms. So let's go inside and take a look. Great, well here we are inside the house. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and so let's take a look at the bedrooms. And walk into bedroom number 1 here. So Joe, you were mentioning something earlier when we walked through the house, is how much you appreciated the thoughtfulness of some of the planning that went on in here, as far as like the electrical outlets and the cable and the rest of that.
Yeah, in this market, we're seeing a lot of homes being flipped that are quickly being modernized, and some of the aspects are not being thought of, such as putting an outlet and your coaxial cable connection high up where you're going to mount a TV on the wall. That is something that we're just not seeing consistently in all these updates.
Yeah.
So I really like seeing that somebody's taken the time and thought to make sure that the bills for everything are keeping up with the current needs for the consumers.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be a home that's going to be able to be, without needing additional modification for a good time into the future because of those features that are being added. So that's great. Let's go take a look at the primary bedroom. So here we are in the primary bedroom for the home, and you were just noticing something about some of the additional thoughtful features that were put inside. I'm looking up at would you call it a smoke detector or
It's smoke and CO2, carbon monoxide. A lot of times you don't see them built in as one. You'll have a smoke detector in one location and a carbon monoxide detector added as an afterthought for compliance. It's nice to see them built in as one. It's just less holes you're putting in your walls and less batteries you have to change.
Yeah, fantastic features. So, nice room here with, good daylight coming in. So, fantastic primary bedroom. Oh, another thing that you pointed out on an earlier part of our walkthrough as we were getting familiar with the home was the heating situation, where we had, individual heaters in each of the rooms.
Yeah, having individual thermostats and individually heated rooms is a real concern for some people right now. Some rooms are just not being used all the time, and having to heat part of the house unnecessarily is an unnecessary expense. So being able to control them is a nice feature to have.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the 3rd bedroom. And so let's go ahead and head that way.
All right.
And here we are in the 3rd bedroom for this house. Wonderful. Again, you were talking, as we were touring earlier, again, getting the lay of the land, about what's desirable in a house these days, or the fact that it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Tell me more about that.
It is very hard for buyers right now. Inventory is extremely low. The advantage is with the sellers. The hardest category that is feeling that crunch is a 3-bed, 2-bath home under $500,000.
Yeah.
Everybody coming to the table knows that they're going to write offers that they're going to lose out on. And having this type of home available to people is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, and you bring up a really good topic about home affordability and why it's such a challenge right now. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow as we continue our tour and we get a look at the living room and kitchen, which I know everyone's been dying to see. So hope you come back tomorrow to join us for that part of the tour. Before we go, I do want to take a moment and just again say thank you to our sponsors, to our generous gift in kind donors, to the generous folks who volunteered labor and their time. So they gave their gifts of time, talent, treasure, and testimony even for this project to happen. Because of them, we're standing here in this 3rd bedroom for this house. And so I want to take a moment to say thank you to the Trust Company, say thank you to the Sierra Pacific Lumber and the Sierra Pacific Foundation for their generous donation. To Sherwood and Son Foundations, thank you so much for your gift. To Lisser and Associates, thank you so much for the really great work you did on doing some of the survey for the site so we could actually build this house. And lastly, I want to say thank you to Cascade Gutter, who came out and put some amazing gutters on this house. which is really key to long-term quality lasting of the home, is to have good quality gutters. So wonderful, fantastic community partners, the Trust Company, Sierra Pacific Lumber and Sierra Pacific Foundation, Sherwood and Son Foundations, Lisser and Associates, Cascade Gutter. Welcome back for day 3 of our virtual tour of our 40th home. We're so excited to get to dedicate this home to the home buying family that's going to be coming in. Be sure and tune in on the 16th at 10 a.m. to watch the premiere of that dedication ceremony video. You're not going to want to miss it. Today, I'm here. I'm Scott with Skagit Habitat for Humanity, and with me is Joe Weistup, realtor and longtime supporter and just passionate about what Habitat does. Affordable home building affordable home ownership is, I think, near and dear to your heart.
It is. I found it very hard to get in as a homeowner in the very beginning, and that's kind of what drove me to become a realtor. So what kind of thought does Habitat give in the build process as far as the green footprint in today's market?
So we are definitely about sustainability and affordability. And so we're very interested in trying to build homes that are energy efficient and water efficient. So not only because it's the right thing to do, but because that sustainability translates into affordability for our homeowners on a monthly basis. Anytime you can do something smart that helps make that long-term operating cost for the home less, then that helps there to be that greater margin in the monthly budget for the homeowner. So we're here in the laundry room area, and Joe, you were talking earlier about some of the features of the washer that we have, just some of the niceties that you saw built into the process here.
Yeah, I really like the fact that you have a double stack front loading setup. It really minimizes the footprint of the laundry room and leaves space available for the imagination. Each home buyer is going to have different needs in every room, so leaving space for them to customize it for their own personal needs is a fantastic touch. These are great energy efficient machines. They're quiet, and I think they're going to absolutely love them.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and take a walk into the primary bathroom now and take a look at some of the features. One of the things that you'll notice is just how generous the size is in this bathroom. This is probably bigger than the bathroom I have at my house. And so it's really nice. The other thing that you'll notice over here in the corner is some fantastic storage available. And I know that a lot of times in home builds, storage is a really key thing.
It is. It's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to close off dead space in a build than it is to imagine what to use that dead space for. In this design, they've been able to go a lot farther back and really utilize all the space that's there to give you maximum storage. Which most shared bathrooms do not have this level of storage. Yeah. So this is a great touch to add it to the cabinetry of the vanity.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here today, Joe, to just add some additional information to this experience. In fact, one of those things that you were talking about earlier is this really cool heating unit that we have here. And I don't even know what you would call that.
Well, there's actually two terms for it. It's called a ductless heat pump. I'm originally from the East Coast. We call them mini splits because it does two things. It not only heats your house, but it cools your house. And it is a neat little feature to have on top of just your traditional heating system. It solves cold spots in the house, and the way it does it is it takes ambient air outside and it cycles it through a conductive unit and turns it into heat.
Oh, okay.
And it's the most energy efficient way to generate heat, but it is a reversible process, so you can also use it as an air conditioner.
It sounds like from what you're saying, this is actually a really smart way to address that, green footprint for the home.
Every new build that I walk through tends to have at least one of those in the property, so it's fantastic to see it.
Yeah. So Joe, let's go to the next part of the home that I think everybody's been waiting for, and that is, let's take a look at the kitchen. And I know kitchens are a hugely important feature on a home. The quality of the kitchen is really, really important. And Joe, when I step into this
This is an amazing kitchen.
It really is. You get a lot of comfort in this kitchen. There's a great flow to it. Kitchens are the heart of the home. This is where everybody's going to spend all their time congregating, conversing, talking about their day, and it really needs to have the right feel for those home buyers. Having an island is a fantastic touch. Everybody wants additional cabinetry, an informal type of eating area, and one great feature that I already see is this island has electrical hooked into it.
Yes.
That is a big thing for homeowners and home buyers. They want an island with electrical hookup because you have all sorts of modern appliances nowadays with the boom of the technology age. You need to be able to plug these things in. So having an island with power is absolutely imperative.
Yeah, and I love the details. Again, I think I mentioned in the previous video, the thought process that goes into these builds. Just thinking about all those little details. Amazing work by our construction manager, by our architects, and all the folks, the volunteers that put the work in. So many amazing details that are put into these homes. These are really quality homes. Another thing that we talked about on a previous video was a question of, what do we do to support our home buyers? Well, if you look right behind Joe here, this is a box that contains every manual for every appliance in this home. If it relates to the build of this house, I think it might even include some as-builts for the way it was constructed. This is everything you would need to know to take care of this house from a technical standpoint. And what's really cool too, one of the other ways we support the families is our construction manager actually takes time to walk through the entire house, the entire property with this box in hand, pull out the specific manual for the specific appliance, talk about how to operate it, talk about the maintenance that's necessary for it, because obviously the goal is to make this sustainable, to make this last a long time. And so, when we talk about how excited I am, and that we all are, for the support that we're able to give these home buyers to just really launch them in a sustainable, successful way. This is just one of those pieces here. So yeah, great place, dishwasher, sink with two compartments to it, lots of storage here, wonderful stovetop and oven, and then a refrigerator. So all the features you would want in a modern kitchen. This is great.
Yeah, and I really wanted to point out that this box is very important. I have a background in aviation, and I can tell you that when an aircraft gets sold, if you don't have the books for it, half of the value is gone. Having something like this is huge as a homeowner, because this tells you everything you need to know. So when the day comes where if you need to sell your home, your realtor will absolutely love you and maybe even give you a discount if you hand them this box, because they don't have to do nearly as much legwork now.
Joe, thank you so much for the insight on the value of a simple box, because on the outside of it, it looks pretty simple, but knowing that the value that it adds to the process is huge. And I want to take a moment just to shout out not only to our construction manager, but to our home buyer support committee, who took the time to actually put this whole box together. And again, because of them, we're able to launch this family forward successfully with this kind of information. Yeah.
So how does affordable home ownership transform their lives?
That's a great question, and it really goes to the heart of what we do. As you think back to kind of the first day we were doing these tours, and you talked about who do we build these homes for, we talked about the fact that they're low-income families, that they're housing cost burdened, and that they are living in currently substandard housing. And so when you remove that substandard housing, when you take that housing cost burden away, the transformation happens. For children who are living in substandard housing, they really struggle in schools. They will not perform as well as their peers. So one of the ways that this makes a difference is it brings them into this quality home, and they're now going to do better in school because of that. So now they're going to be able to launch into their adult years with opportunity as opposed to challenges. But it's not just the children who benefit, it's also the parent or the parents that benefit as well, because they've gone from being, cash strapped every month to now having the opportunity to build equity. And so building equity is huge for the future for them as they look at kind of the economic mobility that they're going to have in their life too. So it's a multi-generational impact that makes a difference in their lives. We just had a story come through recently where one of the children of a home buyer came through. He's now a senior in high school and shared with us that he's going to be the first family member to go to college.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's the kind of transformation that can happen because of an affordable home. Without that affordable home, that wouldn't have been possible, most likely, for this child. And then there was another story that came through recently as well, the home buyer, that adult generation, where she came in and shared with us that she has, since being in her new home, been able to go back to school, earn a master's degree, and is now going to go work for a social service agency in the community.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so now having gone from needing that social service help, they're now going to be giving back to the community. And so those are just two great examples of the transformational difference that is made when affordable home ownership becomes possible for them. And this really goes to the heart of why we do what we do. So thank you. And when we talk about those types of transformations, again, we come back to the fact that those transformations would happen because of the support, the generosity that we have from our community. You think about the businesses, the individuals, the volunteers that have helped make this process possible. And so we want to just take a moment here to shout out again to some of our generous sponsors and donors and just say thank you so much to Underwood and Associates. Underwood and Associates did the architectural work for this home, drew up the plans. All Phase Heating, thank you so much for your generosity to come out here and put in the amazing heating that we just talked about and the sustainability that's going to bring to the house and the comfort it's going to bring to the house. I want to say thank you to Builders First of Ferndale for the materials that were donated to this home. And I want to shout out to Habitat for Humanity International and to the Whirlpool Appliance Corporation who helped donate these appliances that you're seeing in this home. Without that generous support, we wouldn't be able to do that. But I always like to put the positive spin on it. Because of that generous support, we are in this home getting ready to celebrate the 40th home dedication very soon.
And as you can see, we're back outside again, kind of almost back where we started on day one for our tour. And we are standing in front of this awesome storage shed. And so we couldn't do this without taking just a moment to point this out as well. We talk about the details that go into making this an affordable, sustainable place for the new homebuyer family, a place to store yard equipment and tools. Many of these folks are coming from an apartment where they would not have had a lawnmower before, and so they're going to need a place to store those items. So, Joe, you were pointing out some of the really cool features of this shed.
Yeah, for starters, I love that it has a concrete slab. Sheds are a very must-have right now. With the shift in living situations, telecommuting, people are leaving major cities, coming to places that are a little more rural, and they're finding out, just like you said, there are things that they don't have that they're going to need to live out here. Having a shed is huge. I am seeing people negotiate leaving sheds when buying houses right now because of the additional space and storage. So seeing this here already is just absolutely fantastic. And you know, it's a great quality shed. It's not a very chintzy kit. This is really built quality wood on a foundation slab with a real roof. This thing's gonna last just as long as the house is.
Yeah, it's great. And again, it just speaks to the passion and the attention to detail of everybody involved with the project, to think about all the ways that we can come around and support the new home buyer to make sure they are set up for sustainability moving forward. So thank you for all kind of talk about that. You know, I see a shed and I go, oh, cool, a shed. You see a shed and you go, wow, those are some really great features. So again, thank you, Joe, for being part of this and adding those additional color details to the tour. So grateful for that.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had somebody get involved with Habitat for Humanity, and do they need to have construction skills? What kind of skill sets are you looking for from folks?
Yeah, so there's so many different ways to get involved. Obviously,
being part of a team that's a part of the build out here is an obvious choice to be part of that. So, you know, really when it comes to giving, there's the 4 T's of giving. It's time, talent, treasure, and testimony. And so a gift of your time is huge. A gift of your talent is huge. Because of the volunteers that we have, that means that the affordability gap is less than it would have been if we'd had to subcontract out and pay folks to build the home. So that's a big piece. But you can give in other ways. We have a store that where we actually fund almost 60% of the cost for building homes through the income we receive at the store in Mount Vernon. And so if you'd like to donate time to work there, that's great. We also have a number of committees. I've talked about the Home Buyer Support Committee. That is just one of the committees that we have. And because of those committees, it really just broadens the bandwidth of our organization of what we're able to accomplish, the impact we're able to make. So there's so many different ways to volunteer. You can go to our website and look under the volunteer tab and find out more information. You can even submit an inquiry online to begin the process to talk about that. Other ways that you can give, treasure, yes, if you would like to give to financially support this, you've seen what we've built, you've seen the impact, we've talked about the impact. Yes, we definitely need financial support as well, and there's lots of different ways to give financially as well. One of the best ways that people are giving these days is to give non-cash gifts of stock and material, you know, like I said, gift-in-kind materials or property even. These are all really creative ways that you can give financially to support. The last one is testimony. Talk about Habitat for Humanity. Share the message. Hopefully you've learned some things through these videos where you can go, hey, I understand more about what Habitat does, the difference they make, how they're making that difference. And so feel free to talk that story up in your community. Talk about that at your workplace even.
Now, if an organization wants to get involved, what is the ideal group that you're looking to see? I know individuals are always welcome, but if you have a large business, what's the best approach?
So businesses and organizations, there's lots of different ways to get involved. You know, one of the things we've talked about this whole time is the sponsors that have been part of this. So we have sponsorship opportunities available. You can sponsor a particular part of the house. You can sponsor some of the events that we have coming up. Another really great way to get involved is workplace giving. So many of our corporations and businesses and business owners in the community want to find ways to encourage their own employees to engage in philanthropic adventures, to make a difference in the community. They want to facilitate that. So there's workplace giving you can do. You can put a team of folks together to come out and do a team experience on a build site or in the store. So there's so many different ways that you could get involved. And so what you would do is you would contact myself or Shelley, who is our community engagement manager, and let us know that you're interested, and we would love to have that conversation with you. Thank you once again, friends, for being here, to be part of this tour, to be part of this moment. This is such an exciting time for us to be dedicating our 40th home for Skagit Habitat for Humanity. We've been around for 27 years, and this is why we do what we do. So we hope that you will tune in on the 16th at 10 a.m. to watch the dedication ceremony, to be part of that celebration with us. Joe, I want to thank you so much again for being here and being part of this time together. Really have added so much to this experience. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It was a great pleasure, and I look forward to Reveal Day.
Yeah, us too. And I want to take this moment to once again just say huge words of thanks to the many partners that we've had in the community. Because of your generosity, we're in this moment. We're taking this tour and we're about to dedicate our 40th home. So I want to say thank you so much to the IBEW 191, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I want to say thank you so much to Marathon Petroleum, to the People's Bank Foundation, to Banner Bank, to Underwood and Associates, to Pacific Wood Tech. Thank you so much for your generosity. U.S. Bank and the U.S. Bank Foundation, thank you so much for your gift to make this possible. It's such a wonderful community, from the local business owners to individuals to our government, really trying to come together and find a way to make affordable home ownership a reality
for these low-income families. So thank you everyone for your contributions to that, and we look forward to having you join us tomorrow online when we premiere the dedication ceremony. Again, that's at 10 o'clock on Saturday the 16th, and we really hope that you'll join us for that live premiere. Thank you so much.